Do you want to learn how to be super smart? Well, stick with me for the next few minutes and I will tell you exactly how to be super smart. My name is Evelyn. This is Class with Prof. Eve. And in this video, I am going to share four, four tips on how to become super smart. Now, I believe that everyone has intelligence, natural intelligence, and developed intelligence. But obviously, there are people that are more intelligent than others or that know more than others. And those tend to be the people that are educators, experts in certain fields, professionals, right? Although there are lots of other people who are extremely intelligent. But these are the individuals that tend to be perceived as the smartest, people. I'm a college professor. That's my job. And so there's an assumption that I'm a super smart person, and that wouldn't be a wrong assumption. But there are things that I've done that throughout my life that I feel have made me super smart, right? That have enhanced my intelligence. And so those are the things that I want to share with you. First, you really have to build confidence and assuredness in your intelligence. There are billions of people in the world. Tons of people know how to do so many different things, so many skilled, people. So there's the perception that there's a lot of competition for everything, for attention, for work. And that is true to some degree, but there is space for everyone, and everyone is their own unique person. So I think really establishing a mindset that you have unique value and something unique to contribute to every conversation, to every room that you're in, will help you to build self-assuredness in your knowledge and your intelligence. And some ways that you could do that are very basic things like reading, studying, doing research on certain topics, learn things. And so reading, let's talk about that first. Because there's lots of things that people read all the time, right? We read text messages, read magazines, right? People read books, but there's a different level to reading when you are reading to retain information, to contextualize information, to figure out how you can apply that information to different settings and contexts and things like that. And so you have to develop a way to read for comprehension and really take those vital pieces of information from what you're reading and incorporate those into yourself, into your life. And that's how you get the most from whatever you're reading, even if it's a novel. I love novels and I love fiction books. And those books give me so many creative ideas. They open up my eyes to so many different worlds and possibilities. They ignite my imagination in so many different ways. And I absolutely believe that those are things that are enhancing my intelligence in general. So read broadly, read all kinds of different authors from all sorts of different backgrounds and nationalities, ethnicities, ages, genders. Read as broadly as you possibly can because you don't want to silo yourself into only reading sports magazines, right? Or only reading books about history, or something like that. Diversify what you're reading. There are probably trillions of books in the world. So read some fiction, read some nonfiction, read some magazines, read some publications, some journals, read all kinds of stuff. I read all kinds of stuff from all sorts of different people. Like my bookshelves have all kinds of different books. I'm looking over at my bookshelf now. Like I have some textbooks up there, some language textbooks from school, novels, a whole bunch of nonfiction books. I have some guidebooks, some self-help books, some religious books. I mean, there's so many different types of books. My kids have magazines, journals, uh, mangas, and so I try to also teach them to read, broadly. And that just really expands your mind and your awareness, and provides anything that you read, especially continuous and consistent reading, provides new vocabularies for you, new theoretical perspectives, new outlooks on the world, right? So yes, read, but read for substance. Read for something to take away from that to incorporate into your life. Don't just read things just to read them, to say that you read 25 books in 2025. How are you using those books in your life? How are those books shaping your relationships and how you move through the world? Okay. Building confidence and self-assurance in your intelligence, and then reading broadly, right? Read, study, research. And the third thing is to have experiences, have different life experiences, get out of again, a lot of this is about breaking out of our own personal silos. So travel if you can. If you can't travel outside of the country, travel to another state, travel to another city in your state, meet new people, join groups. These are things you don't have to pay money for. Join a Facebook group online, join a local community group, connect with different people that have different interests, join collectives that pertain to your various interests that you have. Hear from those people. What are they doing? What struggles are they having? How do they progress their lives? Those experiences are informative, right? And they, again, are providing information, providing knowledge to you as well. And what else is happening? It's expanding your worldview. So you have to have experiences. Experiential knowledge is just as significant as learned formal knowledge or education, in my opinion. So do things, try new things, exercise new skills, make new connections, be a part of different groups. Those experiences are going to add layers to your life and layers to your mind as well. The last tip for becoming super smart is to learn from others. Now, you're going to be doing some of that learning from others, if you connect with people in groups and travel and do all those sorts of things. But in this context, I'm talking about getting support from people. Okay, so maybe you need a coach to help work through certain things in your life or things that you've experienced, blockages. Maybe you need a therapist. Maybe you need a counselor. Maybe you should just watch people on YouTube, right, who can provide information and experience that makes life more meaningful for you. Right. So there's so many people in the world, and we have the internet. And so you can always learn so many things from other people, seek support from other people, learn from them. If you want to pay, there are several ways that you could pay for different programs and classes. And I'm not talking about college, I'm talking about online or in your community. There's so many different things available so that you can connect with other people and learn from them. There's nothing wrong with that. I think we need to move away from this idea that everything that we do has to be original or unique. It doesn't, and can be hard to obtain in today's age as well, because there is so much variety and there's so many people in the world. So if someone is doing something that you don't understand, then keep watching them, reach out to them, see what you can learn from those individuals. Don't be ashamed to ask for help. Don't be ashamed to say what you don't know. That's another thing that I would say has been personally beneficial for me, is I'm not ashamed to say, I don't know that, I don't understand that. Can you teach me that or show me where I can find information to learn about that? Because you can never assume that you know everything. You don't. No one does. Right? So the willingness to admit that you don't know everything, that you are learning and always learning, is a very smart thing to do. Okay. So those are my 4 tips for enhancing your intelligence and becoming super smart. As you noticed, I didn't mention going to college and getting a degree. Of course, I think that that is a valuable thing to do to obtain, especially formal knowledge and credentials and things that you need for work in most cases. But it's not required to be a smart person or to be a very smart person. College is not required. It's not, and actually, college has a lot of limitations. There are specific classes that you could take, right? It's very siloed, in these institutional settings. And so you decide a major that's locking you into a certain sphere where you're going to take very specific classes, and then you'll have some options for electives, but that's going to be a short list also, right? Or just it's going to be a list, right? It's not going to be an endless list. But the possibilities for gaining knowledge in the world are endless. Endless, and frankly, a lot more interesting as well. So I hope that this was helpful, and I will see you all in my next video. Don't leave before you like, share, and subscribe. Bye-bye.